beautiful souls. I am Awakened Soul, and today we're going to be setting up our next trade on Doge, and we're going to go into a more deeper sense of my thought process of how I set my charts. I'm going to start off on the 3 months. I'm going to respect my strategy. I'm going to come into the charts with no emotions, no expectations, erasing everything. I do use the log scale. And let's begin. First thing is setting our range. Rinse and repeat game, baby. So you just set your range. 3 months are purple. I do use the chakra colors because a lot of my TA comes with just my music, not my voice. And I want you to understand whenever you see a color, it means a time frame. So that is my range. What else is the 3 months telling me? Using a fib channel here, right? 1 touch, 2 touches, and just pulling it down here. My fib channel is showing me off the bat here that we could possibly have one more test here to this trend line, and we are going to highlight it. And I only highlight the trend lines that are around price action, because in the end of the day, that's all that matters, price action. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Another great observation here is our contraction phases, right? We have an amazing contraction phase here, second contraction phase, third contraction phase. With this being said, we know that this is it. This is our box of interest. This is our focus. Do I ever see Doge coming down here? No, I don't. Could it happen? Sure, it could happen. Right? But right now, this is it. Okay, so now that I'm somewhat clear of what the charts are showing me, I'm going to move on to my monthly. Rinse and repeat. What are we going to do? We're going to set our range using the previous candle. Turn on your magnet. Monthlies are red. And obviously the 3 month is the same as the monthly. Therefore, I'm just going to leave it alone because it's stronger. I also always say that every contraction phase will bring a pattern. So in our monthly, what pattern is this? Learn your Forex master patterns, guys. Using the higher high, lower low indicator, it's just going to help me and guide me on setting a key trend line here. We are in our monthly, so let's go ahead and change it to red. So just by setting one key trend line off the bat, this looks like a flag, right? A bull flag. Right? Usually patterns break out in the 5th wave. So what about if this is 1, 2, this was our 3rd, we have a 4th touch, and then we get a 5th break to the upside. Big possibility. Right? They're just possibilities. Just trying to see what are the possibilities here. Anything else that let's check our POC. What is our POC telling us? Oh wow. Even if I just, that's interesting. Like I said, even though I don't believe, could it come down? Sure. Could it come all the way down to POC levels? Absolutely. That would be a lifetime opportunity to buy. But again, I'm going to just focus on this area. Once I'm done with the monthly, I move on to the weekly. What is the weekly showing us? Where is our contraction phase? Our contraction phase are sideways movements. So 1 contraction phase, 2 contraction phase. This was the little one here. Contraction phase, right? Contraction phase, trend down, contraction phase, trend down, big contraction phase. So from this point, we're going to have a trend. The trend is either going to go up or it's going to come down. Okay. So let's go ahead and move in here, setting our range, our weekly range. And the reason I set my weekly my ranges, I should say, is because I use each range as a key level. Imagine price action, it's like an elevator. So if it breaks, so right now, price action is telling me is above the weekly, under the monthly. So this tells me if the monthly holds, we could break down the weekly support, or we could break back up to the monthly resistance. And it's a little bit more clear in the daytime, but let's move on. So once I have my weekly, what else could I see? What is this pattern, right? I want to see what pattern we're doing. So this pattern looks interesting. It's complicated. I don't really recognize it off the bat. Could it be an H? What about that? Could be a big H, like a big upside down cup. It's just been sideways since 2022. That's wild. And if this is a cup, okay, let's follow through. If you see a pattern or you think it's a pattern, right? I like to use a line chart to get a measured move, or sometimes just switch it to the line chart so the pattern is a little bit more clear. Again, I don't see much on my weekly time frame, but the only possibility I do see is a possible cup here, inverted cup. So with the Forex master pattern, if this would to be a cup, we would get a measure move. Right. Okay. And the retest of this trend line would be a play. Like I mentioned earlier, that I do see a possible touch to this trend line, just like it did before it bounced to the upside. So I'm taking that in consideration on my weekly. Okay. Sorry, weeklies are orange. If I don't change the colors and the colors are not perfect, it'll throw me off. By the time I'm done, I have a techno party going on, so I have to keep everything organized. Okay, anything else that I see? No, let's move on to our daily. What is our daily contraction phase? Okay, we know this is our whole weekly contraction phase. Our daily contraction phase will be here somewhere, right? Just focusing on price action. Our daily contraction phase will be around here. So using my 1226 EMAs, I'm going to look at our trend. I'm going to set our range. So again, our range based on candle open and candle close. Yellow is our daily. That is my range. So this is a perfect visual of why it's important for me to set those ranges. Okay. Again, imagine price action is your elevator. Price action is holding daily support under monthly resistance. If PA holds above daily support, we could have a possible break up to the upside have monthly and daily be new supports, and then we can continue to the upside. Yet if PA breaks daily resistance, breaks weekly support and support, guess what? This is your next support. It would be your 3 month. Okay, so something to acknowledge, something to visualize, something to understand more than anything. Okay, I trade with the flow. I believe everything is energy. So with that being said, and when I mean I trade with the flow, this is what I mean. Price action is above 1226 EMA. We're in a bullish trend. Price action is below 1226 EMA. We are in a bearish trend. So here, because this is our focus, right? We can see price action, 1 touch, 2 touches. We're on our daily, so our trend line is yellow. 1 touch, 2 touches. Right, price action bullish, then EMA's flip. Price action is under 1226 EMA. Now we're in a bearish trend. Where are our daily targets? Right, 1 touch, 2 touch. And this is all I teach, guys. And if you're really interested and you see the value, go ahead and join my free Discord. I have a free Discord. I do have a Twitter. Follow me on awakensoul_369, and I share my plays, my profits, my thoughts, my poetry. I do the most. So just off the bat here, let's not lose you, right? We set 2 targets. So we can see that our first day target already hit, and there's a second day target at play. So like this already hit, let's take it out. It's irrelevant. So if the play is gone, if it already happened, like clean up your charts. And like this is super cute. Okay, so that's our daily. Let's move on to our 4 hours. In our 4 hours, we didn't get a pattern for our daily. It's important to get our pattern. What is our pattern in the daily? Again, I like to use the higher high, lower low indicator to kind of guide my trend lines, to give me that visual. So off the bat, right, I'm going to use this fib from this low to this high because it was 1 push up. We could see that price broke the 38.2, so it's not a bull flag. And visually, we could see it's not a bull flag, right? It would have had to hold somewhere here, but it didn't. So with that being said, I'm even more bearish on Doge. Could it still run up? Of course, it could do anything. Anything it wants. And the reason, okay. So in our 4 hours, we're going to go to our 4 hours. In our 4 hours, our contraction phase is here. And this is our focus. This is all that matters. This is all that we care for. And right here off the bat, what do we see? I know it's hard to see patterns, especially when you're new. But if you start focusing on just your contraction phases, it's going to help you. So in the 4 hours, I'm going to be working on here. But before that, I understand that this was the previous contraction phase. And this previous contraction phase looks like a triangle, right? So if this was the play and we're coming down, we could use this information, get a measured move here, and a possible target to the downside. Don't forget to check your liquidity. I do forget. But I do use the Lux Algo Fair Value Gaps. They're really cool. Or you can use the PVA Candles Dragons. And the dragon will help you also and guide you on where price action is, giving you that visual. Right? So you see the dragon, you see price action reacting in the center on the weekly. On the daily, you can see price action is under your dragon. You can see that there's a lot of liquidity to grab here where our target is. Okay. So even though you're working on this contraction phase, why not look at the previous contraction phase? Use the pattern that was given here and get that measured move, right? The possibilities. Is this a gap? That is not, it's a big gap. Okay, so looking at this for hour, we're gonna look at this gap, huge gap. Right, and it's not filled completely, so we could definitely come back up here and take care of that gap. So what pattern do we see here in our 4 hours? So we see trend down, using 4 hours, trend down, then it broke down up, right? Then it broke down. The only thing I could imagine, again, sometimes use your line chart. I'm just a visual person, right? Does that look like anything to you? No. Flip your chart, invert it. Right? Sometimes when you invert a chart, things could be a little bit more clear to you. We're just going to connect trend lines here. Nothing exciting. Definitely like some sort of channel. Initially I was thinking maybe a cup and handle too. Like, what about this is like a cup? I'm sorry, Adam and Eve. Right, this could be the cup. And what above this is Adam and Eve? That could be a possibility. I've been seeing those patterns a lot lately. 4 hours. And this could be definitely interesting pattern here. Because if this is the case, right, we're going to again get that measure move from the cup. I'm going to move this one. That was our day trend line. I'm going to redo it. And yes, this is how long I take to do every chart. Right? You have to take your time. You have to see the possibilities. So if this would be the case, and let's say price would break to the upside, I would have some targets here. That would be my first target, and then 1 touch, 2 touches, somewhere over here. Around here. I don't like that. It's way off. It's way off than my expectations are. No, I don't like that. What I could say is this from this wick, right? It's finding that confluence. So 1 touch, 2 touch. I like this wick, and I would put across here. right? That would be confluence to that 4-hour target. Okay, I'll take that. There's 0.09. Okay, and that would be confluence to our weekly trend line. That would be my high for right now. Somewhere in this zone. Just like I have a bearish target, I want to have, I'm sorry, a bullish target, I want to have a bearish target. And we have our daily here. We're not sure about this pattern at this time as it's consolidating, but we understand our key levels. Where is our POC here? Oops. Right, PA. So using POC, using key levels, I like to set my key resistance. So that would be my key resistance. Just giving me some confluence with price action. So if price action were to break to the upside, find some sort of support, I could see this possible 0.09 target being hit. Okay, so now let's go to our 1 hour. Okay, the party just started, guys. So if you can't take the time to learn step by step what it takes, maybe charting is not your thing. But that is my first possibility. It's the long. Again, I'm going to use higher highs, lower lows to help me, guide me in my 1 hour. So after every trend phase here, why is it not marking? Right, big drop to the downside. So just off the back on my daily, this is a beautiful support. In my 1 hour, this is a beautiful support here. Could it be a bear flag, right? A bear flag. Let's pull our bear flag fib from the top to the bottom. Price action is way above the 38.20, so it is not a bear flag. Giving me even more confidence to the upside. All right, 1 touch, 2 touches. So here on the daily, on the 1 hour, off the bat, just looking at this, right? Our goal as traders is to pinpoint our contraction phase. That is going to be our 1 hour contraction phase. Would I trade anything? Sometimes I could go to the 30 minutes, to the 15 minutes, to the 5 minutes and set a beautiful range. But as you can see here, and my computer just froze. And I just bought a new laptop and everything's still too slow for me. Right? Like, why would you even attempt to trade this? It's hard. It's a hard section to even consider trading. So I would respect my 1 hour range, set an alarm on my 1 hour trend lines. So we know if price action breaks 1 hour support trend line, we break our weekly support, we're coming down. It's market structure. That would be my first target. And then we break that weekly. That would be a quick scalp, but we could definitely come all the way to the daily target. Beautiful. And to the upside, right? If we break to the upside, this is going to be my first target. First reaction zone. Let's set our alarms here. And alarms are just like assistance. I don't recommend you to change it as up or down. And the reason is because if the alarm tells you crossing up, emotionally, you're already going to think bullish. So just set crossing. As soon as those Because this contraction phase could be here, we could wick here, right? Till it feels like it, probably till Tuesday, because Monday is a holiday. And then it could choose the direction to the upside or downside. So let it be, set your range, and that's all you could do. It's not ready for a trade. So don't force anything. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you learned something more than anything. And if you like it and you see the value, go ahead and follow me, hit the like, join my Discord more than anything. I'm there for you. I want to give you and share all my knowledge with you. Remember to do everything with love. Love you.